Welcome to the Human Frame podcast with me, Wutsia Hawking, where I talk to incredible people that I've met along different industries to talk about art as a form of activism. Today I'm joined by Alisa Kovalenko. Thank you so much for joining me today, Alisa. So Alisa Kovalenko is an award-winning Ukrainian documentary filmmaker based in Kiev who explores war, memory and the resilience of everyday life. Her films centre intimate human stories within larger political realities, often focusing on conflict and uncertainty. Her feature documentaries include Home Games, We Will Not Fade Away, where she's won over 20 international awards and was named Best Ukrainian Documentary by the Ukrainian Film Academy. Following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Alisa joined a volunteer combat unit on the Frontline before returning to filmmaking, but also filmmaking during. This experience informed her deeply personal film, My Dear Théo. Her work has been supported by the Chicken and Egg Award and screened internationally on platforms including Netflix, and also, which we're going to be talking about, your film Traces as well. So thank you so much for joining me today, Alisa, on this really important conversation stemming from, sexual violence, but also war and conflict, and being away from your family during war as well.
Thank you for having me here for the podcast.
No, thank you for honestly. I'm really excited to have this. Excited is the wrong word, but it's going to be a very important conversation. So I just want to start at the beginning. You studied film before the war happened. When did that shift from something academic or something that you studied to something more personal, even as a form of witnessing?
Well, actually, I studied more like creative documentary in a film school in Kiev, and my main professor of this documentary directing faculty department, he actually motivated us to talk about reality also through our personal feelings. So actually it was very naturally came after my studies and even during my studies, because the revolution on Maidan started in the middle of my studies. So for me it was something like just continuation of what I studied, and what after happened in reality. I didn't feel that there was a line in between. It was a kind of a bridge. Yeah, I just think that revolution in Ukraine, it made more people in Ukraine to start to focus more on documentary cinema, because it's the most reactive way on the events in reality. Because for fiction you need more time, but with documentary you can react on what's happening in front of your eyes, like here and now. And that's why more and more people in our society in Ukraine started to watch much more documentary films, and also through documentary films kind of reflect on our reality and our historical events which took place starting from Maidan Revolution 2014.
And also, just to give a context for people that might not know, how would you explain the kind of, obviously because the Russia-Ukrainian conflict is a lot longer than a lot of people realise. Can you just give us a brief context of how it basically started?
We're always joking, from which date to start, from Kievan Rus, or from 1,000 years ago, or from more current events, modern history. So if we start to talk about Russia and Ukraine and also Russian imperialism, even from like collapse of Soviet Union. And because pretty soon after the collapse of Soviet Union, Russia started to rebuild the imperialistic structure of country, and pretty soon it was clear that Russia needed Ukraine to be kind of a colony, controlled country by Russia. And when we had our revolution in 2014, we had the current president, Yanukovych, who was kind of pro-Russian president. And Putin kind of put ultimatum for this president, Viktor Yanukovych, that he will sign a kind of agreement to be in one like kind of network with Russia. And we went to protest against it because we realized that again, sign any agreements with Russia, it a step back to colonialism, and we didn't want that. We wanted to be independent, democratic country. We already saw that in Russia, totalitarian regime became much stronger, like democracy was collapsing, and we didn't want to have the same in Ukraine. So we went to protest against this agreement between our president Viktor Yanukovych and Putin, and and that was our way of resilient and resistance as a independent country. After our pro-Russian president left Ukraine at the end of the revolution, Russia decided to annex Crimea, and almost right after that they started to send some of their people to help to kind of Donbas became I don't know how to say it very very shortly, because it's really
You can say it longer if that makes it easier.
Yeah, because it's not an easy thing. Maybe it's better shorter. Yes, after annexation of Crimea, Russia started to the aggression in Donbas. They sent some military groups which were hiding their signs that they were Russian officers or representatives of Russian army. They used some pro-Russian people in Donbas to try to take control over Donbas, and so that was actually the beginning of war in Donbas in 2014 in April. And and that's what I observed when I went to Donbas in April, and what I saw there, that all the consequences of Russian aggression and Russian manipulation and just feeding a lot of propaganda to some pro-Russian groups of people, which were not even majority in Donbas, but it creates this collapse there. And but it was kind of not a big group of aggressive people with guns. They managed to control even bigger representative pro-Ukrainian groups, because when some Russian guys have guns, if you're pro-Ukrainian, what you can do without a gun, go to protest, and there are lots of people who went to pro-Ukrainian protests. Some people were killed. Pro-Ukrainian people were killed in this protest. And after Russian separatists started to take some administration buildings under their control, they occupied some towns, small cities, and also some Russian troops arrived there. So for me, it marked absolutely the beginning of Russian-Ukrainian war, which Western world wanted to see as a like inner conflict, which was not the case.
Do you think that's also an issue because obviously Ukraine's not part of NATO, which complicates things so much further as well? Obviously does not mean that, I mean, look, there's so much more complications to everything that could happen. But how does also the 2022 invasion also differ? Obviously that was more with Crimea, but was it an ongoing from the 2014 attack, or was it completely separate?
No, I would like just maybe give a bit of background. So there was very active phase of war in Donbas in 2014, 2015, a bit of 2016. And after it became more like kind of slow war in Donbas. And with a full-scale invasion, of course, it changed situation like totally, because it became not localized in Donbas, but it became like widespread. For me, to be honest, it was clear that it will happen. I didn't think that it will be totally full scale. I thought that it would be spread in like more eastern part of Ukraine. It will be like Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, Kherson, Kyiv, that will be all eastern part. I didn't expect that they will even try to reach Kiev. So for me, it was a like big like surprise, and but it was something expected from, especially from this category of Ukrainians who were like much like or involved in the situation since Donbas in 2014. Since that time, like most of the people who for example or participate as a volunteer fighters or like were like had more knowledge about what happened, we were all expecting that full-scale war, it's like a question of time, because Putin has this also sick imperialistic ambition, and he really believes that Russian empire should be, how to say, realized its real potential, and he believes that Ukraine is just a part of Russian empire, and so that's why there is no kind of like solution of like signing any agreement now, because how you can sign agreement with some crazy guy who just thinks that he needs this country because it's his, because he really believes that it's his part, that Ukraine is not independent country, that Ukraine cannot decide its own like future, that it's just a colony of a big Russian empire, and yeah.
And it goes as far also, because I've been to a few talks in Parliament about this as well, is, you know, even taking children away from families and care homes and then sending them to Russia and training them as soldiers and then coming back, which, I don't know, I get very emotional about all of this because I feel like it's, you know, it's stripping away the nation, you know, and then the national identity about what Ukraine is all about. But yeah, but also just wanted to ask you about, how do the 2014 and 2022 differ for you as well, personally?
Oh, 2014, it was a beginning, like, and I didn't have any like experience of war. Like I was 26, I was young, I was like romantic in a way. I mean, about the future of our country, that after Maidan revolution, we were all like very inspired by the spirit that collectively and with our like strength of our civil society, we can change something, we can really bring our country to European Union to become like equal like partner country in the EU, and so I had a lot of belief inside myself, and that this Maidan generation, that we can do a lot of things and we can change things, and but after when I went to Donbas, and first thing what I saw there, it was posters with Soviet Union signs with like some warnings like "fuck European Union," "fuck US," and I realized, like, oh my God, it's like what Russia is trying to do is like just try to bring like Ukraine back to this like totalitarian imperialistic regime, like 30 years, 40 years ago, like bring back. And when I went to administrative building, which was already occupied by like pro-Russian like forces, and on the 8th floor, it was kind of torture room. It was called NKVD. You know, it was in during Soviet time.
Yeah.
It was like, and it was really written NKVD.
So they're not even hiding it, they're just fully...
No, they didn't hide. There were like some portraits of Stalin.
Oh my God.
For me, I realized, oh fucking shit, we have to stop it. Otherwise we'll all live in this hell and this shit like in Soviet Union, and even maybe worse than Soviet Union. Like, and and after like when I saw that this scale like was like spreading of this like Russian movement, and they received the weapons from Russia, like troops were coming from Russia, I realized that it could really spread in like eastern Ukraine, and that my hometown, home city Zaporizhia could be also part of it. So for me it was really, really frightening. It was like red signal that we are in a big danger. It was not clear for everybody in Ukraine, I have to say. It was not so much clear for many people in Western Ukraine, and like, and when I was in captivity, I was interrogated by a Russian officer, and while Western media were telling, oh, there are no Russian like officers or like Russian military officials, but they were there. They were just hiding. So I realized like how serious it is, and but still, like, we managed to to stop this cancer on like some like limited territory. We lost like part of our territories. We lost our people, and but we managed to for like certain period of time to localize it like there, and it's full-scale invasion. It was like just widespread, and maybe we didn't do also enough to prepare for this. Like state and government, and because NATO reason is just bullshit. It's like Putin will always find any reasons. He doesn't need to be like even rational. It's just like whatever he wants to say, he would say, and he will pretend. Like they're like such a professional good liars, and I don't know how people can still believe in this like reason as a NATO. It was so logical. Like we look back how everything happened in 2014, like that some moment it would happen with like bigger like part of Ukraine, and it happened with all Ukraine. But of course, because I was on the front line at the beginning of Russian aggression in Donbas, and after I was on the front line as a soldier in 2022. So of course it was a big difference. It was much more like intensive with the full-scale war to be on the front line. Like of course, like one night on the front line, like I would say in Kharkiv region in May, it was intensive as hell, and I don't remember such an intensive days on the front line 2014. Like one night we had like everything like flying on us, like everything, absolutely, like artillery, like helicopter shooting, like tanks and phosphorus, like chemical things, like everything. It's like this I never experienced before. Even I spent a lot of time on the front line in 2014, 2015. I was filming there a lot. Yeah, so of course we cannot compare the like intensity of it, but yeah, but there are of course also a lot of like connections between.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for giving that kind of. I mean, I know it's really difficult to do it in a short amount of time because there's so much history and so much that has happened. I mean, 10 years now, basically. But I want to move on to your most recent film, Traces, because it uncovers quite a lot of this. Why did you give it the name Traces?
It's happened like when I arrived in Kherson region right after liberation from Russian forces, Russian army. I saw traces of this occupation everywhere, and traces of war, traces of aggression everywhere. It was like burning fields, it was like holes in the houses, like destroyed like schools, destroyed houses, like some like dead animals, and like graffiti which Russians left on the like buildings and the doors, and but you also see kind of wounded people, and some wounds were kind of invisible wounds. So you feel that you are on the territory full of traces, visible and invisible traces of this war, this aggression, and also traces of traumas. It was working title. I thought that maybe we would change it later. It was just the first feeling what I felt when I arrived there, and it's like from where we started to film and to work on this like documentary film and documenting war crimes.
And as I was watching it, there was a lot of you used a lot of nature, and what's it called, focusing on the trees, and then how it was grown, and then how it was burning, and how it slowly kind of burnt out. But also at the end, it finished with what I felt was quite hopeful in terms of sunflowers blossoming in a way from a place when they weren't. Did you use those images intentionally? And if so, like what the connection to the nature was as well?
Oh, thank you for this question. No, it's actually, it started more, I would say, not intentionally. I just wanted to show the reality and the atmosphere around. I started to look for visual language also for the film, because I decided not to film the testimonies, not to film the interview. I only recorded sound. And at the same time, I started to look for visual language, because I didn't want to have this like just talking heads and direct testimonies. I wanted to build something bigger, something deeper, and and I started to look a lot at the nature. And as I mentioned before, I also saw these burning fields and this like kind of nature which also was surviving after this like traces of war. And so it was the first thing. And second, because for Irina, for the main character of Traces, for her, nature was something absolutely essential in her life. She lost her garden in Donbas in 2014 because her town was occupied by Russians and like pro-Russian forces. But she lost everything after captivity. And she recreated the garden in Kiev region in the new place. And I was thinking a lot about this connection of like lost land and how to find again your roots, how to find again this connection with the land. And then a third thing, I actually was thinking about this stages of going out of trauma. There are 4 stages. It's like 4 seasons, and the second stage called melting stage, and for me it became something metaphorical that's like, and maybe it could be very interesting way to try to find this like connection between the seasons and recovery after trauma. And because it's recovery of people, but it's also recovery of nature, because how fields were like demanded and how they were all like seeds were growing up in this kind of burned land. And like when I talk with Mefodievna, with one of the characters of Tracy, 75 years old teacher from a village, small village in Kherson region, when she came back to her village, she said that the first thing she did, that she started to put garlic, to grow garlic in this land. And for me it was so beautiful thing that it's like it's kind of giving back life to this like earth, like ground land. And so there were a lot of signs and symbols in this, and I started to see them more and more and more. I started more spontaneously, and after I found so many layers in this like dramaturgical arc with the nature and in this visual language, so I started to dive more and more and more in this language.
No, I love that aspect of it, because I think, and it's the nature is part of a country's like land as well. And it's what I really liked about it was that, it was burnt, but then also, and as you said, with trauma, but then also as survivors were coming together, it was also the land was also growing back, because with SEMA, right, which is the group that was Irina founded, right? Can you tell me more about that? Was that part of the planning of creating this documentary, or did it kind of just fall into place as you were doing it?
It's a long story behind, like it's a really long story. No, because after I survived captivity and sexual violence in captivity in spring in 2014, I couldn't speak about this experience, especially of sexual violence, to anybody, to my family or friends. It's not only because like I felt ashamed. I actually felt a bit guilty. It's kind of I took risk, and like it was my fault. I didn't want to put this kind of burden on my like close people, that they will be suffering also to like because I like survived this. So I decided, okay, I will be silent, and like somehow I will like overcome but of course it's never happened like this, and we all know that like to start to work with trauma you have to speak out, and you have to speak out also with yourself at least, like, and I was like I just put it in this dark shelf somewhere, like inside myself, and like, okay, it didn't happen. And at some moment I participated to experimental documentary theater. They're working a lot also with like reality, with real stories, with also personal things, and that's how I started to think about what happened to me, and maybe transform it first at least into text, and after with the support of people from the team from the theater, we created a documentary experimental performance about my experience of captivity and also sexual violence. And that's kind of opened door to my memory, and like it was the first time when I wrote everything I survived, and we made this performance. And thanks this performance I've been contacted by some NGOs who were documenting war crimes, and particularly also conflict-related sexual violence crimes. And when I gave my testimony, actually they say that I was the first woman speaking publicly about conflict-related sexual violence in Ukraine. And thanks to this testimony, Irina founded me later and invited for this first meeting of survivors of conflict-related sexual violence in Ukraine. And this was the beginning also of a journey to traces, because we had it like 2 days, we spent 2 days together. We had it like 2 days of meetings, discussions, what we can do together. We were 15 women who had a different background. Our connection was that we survived like torture, sexual violence, captivity in Donbas. The rest things were like just like, we were different people, different age, and we were like trying to understand how we can become community, or maybe how we can become organization, what will be our activities, what we can do together, what we'll be advocating, for what we'll be fighting. And from the very beginning, we are talking a lot about importance of preserving memory, and that maybe like documentary film can be this instrument, this tool for advocacy, but also for like saving memory and saving these stories of survivors. But I was very much afraid to start work on this film. I realized that it will be very heavy thing, that it will also bring me back to my memory, to my traumas. It will be really re-traumatizing thing. So I was not ready, and I didn't have enough maybe bravery inside myself. So I was like postponing this. I realized that it could be important, but I was really not ready. And after full-scale invasion started, and we saw even wider scale of violence, including sexual violence. There were a lot of stories in all villages and like Kiev region, for example, after the occupation, after liberation. And we just realized, I realized that I have to sacrifice my like personal trauma to amplify voices of my sister survivors, or like voices of others. And the decision to start to work on this film, it was a collective decision. It was taken inside our community. We had board members meeting, and we had this opportunity to receive a small grant for documenting crimes against humanity. And and we decided to use this grant for like starting documentary film traces.
Why do you think documenting crimes against humanity is really important? Like,
because it's also fundament for justice. We cannot achieve any justice if we will not preserve all the memories and all the testimonies for crimes, and it's very important because it's also important for recognition that these crimes happen. These people who are talking about these crimes, and this is like also one of the next stage after like documentation. You go to recognition, from recognition you go to justice. So for me it's on this level. If we are talking about not about like art or things like, but this documentation is important for our fight for justice.
and when you were also, coming up with it, was there any? Because obviously it's a really personal, like you said, experience, and people can get re-traumatized. Was there any talk of people not wanting to get involved, or were all the women that were involved really, wanting to get their story out? Because, watching it, I like the way that you didn't do it like as interviews, that it was very, you were there with them, but not like in a way. So I don't know how to explain this, but it was like observing a conversation. That's what it felt like, which I think made it more personal also.
Yeah, it was very complex process because I even cannot separate the film or work on the film from my activity as a member of SEMA or as a like human rights activist. It was all together. It went everything together. And Irina was the main character of Traces. It was like 7 years working together. So, and she started to document war crimes right after liberation of Kyiv region. So she went there, she documented war crimes, she identified some women survivors of conflict-related sexual violence. And after we decided to start to work on this documentary, we went together with Irina to Kherson region. And it also through her that we were contacting women, we were documenting war crimes. It was not like we arrived to make a film. It was never like this. We arrived as representatives from survivors-led organization. And this also always went as a first thing. And when we were even talking with the survivors, we were saying it as a first thing. And after, we were saying that, but we also we started to make a documentary film, and we really want to preserve this memory. We want to document war crimes. We want to use this film as a kind of tool to fight for justice and to amplify voices of survivors, to also fight against
silence
and stigma. So, but first it was just a conversation between survivor and survivor. It was not like this director character. It was not like this. And it was important way to build relationships and with all survivors. And with the time, they also became members of SEMA. They became advocates also for their rights and for the rights of other survivors. they became human rights activists as well, like after some time. And at the moment I was still filming, like, but we were working together as like equal members of Sema Ukraine. So it's like, it was not something like, oh, I arrived to make film about this topic. No, it was like, it was part of my work, just like it became more like yeah, it also became a film as a part of it. Yeah, and of course for some women, they were more open and they wanted to speak out, and like they wanted to, like, yeah, I will talk about all these war crimes. I will tell about what I survived and about all the torture. For some women, it was more like complicated to be so open, or like even not to be so open, but also to realize the importance as being part of the film, or what film can, like, how film can work. Like, it was not clear for like everybody from the beginning. So it was very different, and it was very individual journey for each woman. And for Nina, for example, the woman who appeared like later, that we document, like it was also by accident that actually she contacted one of our members, and she said that she is ready to give her testimony. And but I saw her in very bad psychological state, and her house was bombed. I was not really sure even that this scene will be in the film. I filmed it. I filmed even mainly hands. I didn't know. So it also took 1 year that she agreed, and she realized that it's important. And she went during this year. She went through rehabilitation programs. She covered after what she survived. Also, we managed to help her with like furniture for her new small house. It's hard to call it house. It's like building kind of. So yeah, it was a process. And I have to say, it's important detail that at the beginning, when we started to work on this film, I thought that maybe it will be short film or middle length film, and I thought that this film will be mainly built on testimonies. I didn't know if it will be like life of like many characters during 2 years, but somehow, or like organically, it worked like this. And just at some moment I realized, okay, it's not anymore short film, it's not anymore just based on testimonies. I was actually following lives of all characters. We don't see it in the film really fully, but because after you have to edit and you have to cut a lot of things. But I follow lives of all characters. Like, and in the first rough cut version, it was 3 hours film with like 2 years of lives of like each women. So it was a kind of process, and it was a real process of recovery of like each of them, and it was real process of like, activity of our organization during this like 2.5 years.
But you really see that with the relationships that are built as well, because you can really see the connection and trust within the group as well, which I think is also what's beautiful from it in the end as well, especially because it ends with being at one of the summer events as well. So yeah, it's just very warming after listening to everything that they went through, because it's heartbreaking when you someone that I could see as my grandma, for example, talking about the things that she experienced is just it's just imaginable, to be honest. Like, There's obviously like an increasing recognition globally of sexual violence being used in wars and conflict. Do you think that this is being used systematically in war as a weapon of war?
No, but generally, conflict-related sexual violence is like one of the kind of ancient form, of suppressing like domination, and like it's one of the most like extreme form of suppressing people to control, to like break resilience, and it happened like in many conflicts and wars, because it happened, for example, in Democratic Republic of Congo, where it's like an inner war, or it happened in the like Yugoslavian war, and like with Bosnian women, when like it's like Serb soldiers like were like massively like raping Bosnian women, or in Kosovo. So it happened many times in our like world's history, unfortunately. And at the same time, it's also one of the most stigmatized and one of the most silenced crime, because for people it's really hard to start to speak out about this. And it was not like exceptional in Ukraine. Like Russia is really systematically using sexual violence as a weapon of war in Ukraine, and we can like talk about the same patterns. For example, in all places which were occupied by Russians, like in Kyiv region, you could say, or the Kharkiv region, or like Kherson, especially Kherson region, because it was the longest like occupation there. We could see cases of sexual violence, and also almost in all cases of conflict-related sexual violence, we see also torture. Almost all people who survived CRSV, they also survived torture. And now we have statistics from UN monitoring mission that 90% of prisoners of war, both civilians and military personnel in places of detention in like Russia or occupied territories, survived 90% survived different forms of tortures, including sexual violence. So for Russia, it's sexual violence is one of the form of torture, and it's absolutely normal form for Russia. Last year they withdrew themselves from Convention Against Torture, which can actually confirm that torture for them is so much normalized. So yeah, we can just see it easily through statistics that it's being used, and it's continued like being used as a sexual violence, as a weapon of war in Ukraine.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of that. Obviously, it's a very touchy and deep topic, and yeah, I really appreciate you telling me more about it. I'm gonna move on to your other film, My Dear Théo, which is I don't want to say more personal, but because it's to your son, isn't it? So it's a different kind of personal. What made you want to document your experience of being on the front lines for your son?
No, at the beginning of full-scale invasion, I actually felt that I kind of died as a filmmaker, director. You can cinema became nonsense for me. It lost any sense. It's like what you can do with your camera, how you can protect like your family, how you can defend your country. For me, it's like I don't know. Somehow I died as a director inside myself, and it's like. And I gave a promise to myself at the beginning of Russian aggression in Donbas in 2014, that if this war will grow and became like widespread, that I will go to fight as a soldier. It happened. So to be honest, at the beginning, I didn't think that I will film anything on the front line. When I joined this volunteer unit of like assault brigade, I was like, I didn't think about like filming strategy, but after started to think about memory, not about film as a film, but just video as a form of memory. And especially I started to think about this memory for my son, because you think if you will die, what your son will be will remember about you. And I started to think a lot about it. And Theo was 4 years old when I went to Frontline, and I found a way like to make a small video diary for him, film little bits our like routine life, and as a way to preserve in memory for him. So if I would die, he will have at least something about me. And at the same time, I started to write letters for him to the future, because still what you can it's not easy to speak with a 4 years old boy or 5 years old boy about serious things.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say for him something more existential, like maybe give him some answers when he will be adult enough to understand these answers, why I went to fight, why it was important, in case I won't be with him. So it was the way to, to save some like heritage for my son. And I didn't think it will become a film. I didn't think that I will transform it into film. Yeah, just after I came back from the front line, and I even didn't watch what I filmed. I didn't read what I wrote. I survived. But after my brothers in arms started to die, just one after another, and all of them had children, almost the same age as my son Théo, and I started to think about maybe transformation of what I managed to film, to write, that maybe this film can become a bridge of memory between us parents who went to fight and our children, and that maybe this film can talk about something like emotional and intimate, and something also universal, that maybe all children after watching this can understand what their parents went through emotionally also on the front line, because we can watch a lot of videos from frontline action events, but actually also important how we were feeling, and what our like existential layer. So I started to work on this film more as trying to transform something personal into something universal, this film can become also testament for my brothers in arms who died and who didn't have time to say last words to their children, like wrote letters. And yeah, for me it was more about this. And until the first day of the editing, I didn't believe that I managed to make this film, because there were not a lot of footages I filmed. For me it was something very spontaneous, something small, because I was not filming for film, so it was no like this dramaturgical arc in it. So actually the film built it more with letters, so letters become this dramaturgical arc. So Yeah, it was very painful process of the editing, because I had to watch some footages with my friends who died, and yeah, it was not easy.
And the other thing that's quite powerful in it, is there's a lot of moments of stillness, right? Because I guess that in Frontlines, there's a lot of moments where you sit and wait until you go and act. So it was really interesting to see, like you said, what the thoughts and the processes, or even like doing yoga, trying to do some normalization. And again, one of the scenes where one of your one of the soldiers was on FaceTime with his family doing yoga together. Again, it's just like a moment of making it light, although I know that probably what he was thinking was a lot more deeper, but making it light for the kids. I think, capturing those kind of moments that you just wouldn't even think of on a front line, because you're still living life, right? Even or celebrating Easter, for example, with stuff. So yeah, it was just so powerful to see those everyday type moments. So yeah, it was just it was I watched it yesterday and it just made me very emotional the whole time.
When we like finish, I think the first cut with my editor Kasa, and we watched it, and we like, oh, it's probably one of the most tender film about soldiers. And yeah, because it's for me it's also full of like light and tenderness, and I think it's important because it's really showing human face of like Ukrainian soldiers, because who went to fight in my unit, there were like not so much like professional soldiers. There were like people like me who had just some totally different profession, who never had a dream to become a superhero soldier, and it's very important, I think, to talk from this perspective, and also destigmatize like army, to destigmatize soldier, because I think still I can feel in like Western Europe, you still feel the stigma. People really, oh, soldiers, like, the image of soldiers is something bad, and it's still like some, even unconsciously, I don't know, consciously or unconsciously, it exists. I had a screening in Austria of My Dear Théo, and after the screening, one young boy came to me, like young, because he's 18 years old, and he said that, oh, I didn't watch anything from Ukrainian war about army. I'm super anti-militarist, like leftist. I'm like, but after watching like your film, I actually realized that I was totally wrong. That he absolutely like changed his mind, and so there are a lot of people who still think, oh, army is bad. It's something very negative. It's like, oh, it's better, of course, to fight with unicorns and yeah, like like sometimes, like if you have to defend your country, you cannot defend it with flowers, like
Well,
throwing
especially
flowers.
if you're getting attacked by
Yeah,
an aggressive state.
yeah, but at the same time, we are still just human being, like, and we didn't choose this way. We didn't want really go and become soldiers and leave our families and to go sit in minus I don't know, 10 in the like whole it was not my dream. So and so yeah, for me it was very important to show this humanity in us, and to break this stigma, and to show this love and like friendship, and and because it was also love was kind of the strongest power bank for us to keep fighting, to like to survive, actually, because you need to to hold on something beautiful, something like light, and this love for our children. It was this saving stick, and I wanted to talk about this and about from this perspective of parents' perspective, being soldier, and also realizing that if you would die, it's not when your parent, mother or father, it's your death is not only your death for yourself, your death is also death for your child. So you will disappear for your child. So it means you will die twice. You will die as you, and you will die for your child who will grow up without like you. And this make big difference, and this will make you be much more responsible for your life.
Do you think your whole experience as a frontline soldier changed you as a filmmaker?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. No, I really no. Of course, it changed me as a person in different ways, and we are still living in this whirlpool of like we are still living in war. So it's like you are inside transformation all the time. It's like it's a constant transformation. It's like you are living next to black hole, which is like kind of distorting, I could say, distorting everything, time and space and yourself, and like somehow so as a filmmaker, I think after Frontline, it's I had this feeling before, of course, as a documentary filmmaker, that I don't like this kind of concept, art for art. But it became more clear for me after Frontline. I would never make film, just beautiful film. Like there is this expression, like art for art, like arty feel. Like I think like cinema is also an act of
resistance.
Like act of resistance, or like it's something like it's about responsibilities. Like what you are saying, your words. It's not just I would say what I think. It's in my interesting reflection. It's something. It should be something meaningful, and you have to feel full responsibility for it. I don't know, and it's so I think Frontline changed this, like not even changed this perception, but made it more stronger for myself. Like I will think like 10 times before I start to make film. I would not make film just because it's okay. I can make film about this. Let's do this. Like you just feel like stronger responsibility for like what are you making, what are you creating. Like it can be cinema or it can be other thing. It's
kind of as a tool for something bigger, right? To kind of I guess put light on something in a way and carry that forward so people see something greater from the experience.
But like we all filmmakers probably now became also like actors in culture diplomacy sector, like advocates, and so it became culture becoming part of general like policy, like I don't know, like and all the diplomacy and all the influence and also geopolitical like map, and so it's not something separate, like because everything matters. each word matters, and each film matters. It's about balancing like darkness and lightness, and about some like bad and good things. So it's about this balance of the world, and each film or book or like whatever, it can be dropped on this, how to say, this thing where you measure
balancing scale. There we go, like a scale.
yeah, scale, like when you put measure like things, or like how to say
Yeah. I think it is a measuring scale, something like that. But
yeah, measuring scale. Yeah, so everything what we do, it's not just because I want to do something beautiful. No, it's something like more it should be something meaningful, and it shouldn't be something like bigger, and it should be this drop for like lightness, more lightness in our world. Otherwise, we could see with all this like geopolitical situation, we won't survive as like democratic civilization. Like so, just it's becoming more and more. I think like observing even now general like wider scale of cinema. Sometimes I will feel angry when I watch film which has no sense in it, or just some kind of something which you cannot grab. I mean, it's like like you really now I have a feeling that I need to film some more like deeper sense from the film, and it can be like, it's not about political sense, but like kind of like socially important thing it should be.
yeah, because like you said, it's filmmakers do have a responsibility from what you want to show and the message you want people to see and come. Sometimes it's not very clear, but sometimes that's the reason for you to figure it out, and that also gives meaning to
It
something.
doesn't mean that it should be it doesn't mean that it should be manifest. It's like not that I'm saying, but because there are some films which becoming almost like political manifest, and it's also bad because still should like contains like this like artistic elements and creativity and like and deepness and like symbolism and like things, but at the same time, essentially, it should be something meaningful as a like heart of this like message of the film, or like socially important, like and like
Thank you so much for giving me a whole insight into all your work, because as I said, they speak a lot. Like you said with the messaging stuff, like I felt it physically impact me. So I would really encourage people to watch them. I know Traces is doing its festival run at the moment, isn't it? So hopefully that will be out some for everyone else to watch soon. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.